Hello everybody and welcome back to the FM23 Youth Academy Guiseley save. We're in the championship and it's proving to be a little bit difficult, but we have got some admin to do first. So let's dive into the game. We'll do a quick catch up of how we've been playing, go and have a look at some past players and then get into a game against Coventry. So first things first, we have 2 new Patreons to the channel and it is greatly appreciated from anybody that wants to give a bit of extra support, income to me as doing this as a hobby. It's really appreciated, so thank you so much for everyone that's doing it so far and everyone that has signed up to be either a channel member or a Patreon. The links are down below and in the description, all that good stuff. But Robert Kelly is no longer going to be Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly is now Andrew Neeson, who is a new Patreon member. I forgot to put the little asterisk at the end so that I remember that is actually a Patreon. And the other one we have is, well, we've got to pick a player because Andrew Neeson picked Robert Kelly. And now we're going to go into the under-18s and we're going to go to one of our younger players who came through the system. So we have Andrew Neeson there. Do we have anyone worthy? Probably Clive Warmold, potentially. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. And I think Clive Warmold might be the person. Pace is a little bit low. We'll start with pace, with Clive Warmold at the moment. Luckily, I say luckily, it's a Patreon that I don't think I'm going to be able to pronounce that easily anyway. But it's going to be Balanson, like that. So Balanson is a new Patreon as well. So thank you very, very much, you two. You are both in the game, both high potential youngsters that we have at the squad, and it's great. Maybe, who knows, eventually we might have a full 11 of Patreon and channel members, which would be absolutely incredible. But yeah, thank you so much. The support is very much appreciated. So let's go and have a look at how results have been going. Okay, so the 4-0 demolition by Derby was our opening game in the championship. 2 players sent off, 4 goals conceded. It was a joyous occasion. We actually followed that up with a 2-0 win over Charlton in the EFL Cup. All Press and Hogg getting the goals. Jeff Hogg scoring his first senior goal for the club, one of the Patreons, which is lovely to see. We followed it up with a 1-1 draw against Blackburn, a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace, which was fortunate, let's say. Even the 1-1 draw, actually, Chris Fearon scored in the 91st minute to get us a draw, so pretty fortunate with that one. Crystal Palace 0-0, man of the match, Scott Lloyd in goal. I think that's all you need to know. Southampton, we drew 0-0 with Southampton. They came to Nethermore in the EFL Cup, 0-0 draw. We went through on penalties. Alpha Koff, Hanif Bertrand and Amir Classy getting the goals. They missed all 3 of theirs, which is pretty poor for a Premier League team. Sunderland, we beat them 1-0. Max Whittam getting an early penalty. Scott Lloyd 7.4, nearly man of the match. Joe P got a 7.7. This sums up, playing our 5-2-2-1 formation, this sums up how we've been playing so far. We won 1-0 and Scott Lloyd got a 7.4 and our 3 centre-backs, Max Whittam got 7.3, Joe a 7.7 and Will Jones a 7.5. So yeah, it's not brilliant. And then we hit September. Rotherham beat us 3-1. We drew 1-1 with Ipswich, both teams getting a man sent off. We actually scored. They got a man sent off. They went 1-0 up. We scored, also got a man sent off, and we missed a penalty in that game. Lovely. At West Brom, we lost 4-3 away from home. Paddy Kenny got 4. Paddy Kenny is quite good at finishing. Finishing 16-20, composure 12-17, and he has pace. That pretty much sums up all you need as a striker in FM this year, is my understanding. So yes, Paddy Kane scored 4 for them in that one. Next up was Wolves in the EFL Cup 3rd round. We went to Molineux, we drew 2-2, and we lost on penalties, which was a little bit irritating. But Hanif Bertrand and Cameron Thorpe getting our goals. Cameron Thorpe late on again getting the goal there. We lost 4-2 to Bolton at home. It's that man again, Pedro Panta. We question how Bolton signed him, but they did sign him, and he is still scoring goals for them. So, yeah, it's a little bit irritating. By the way, take a note of his £36,000 a week. That's an interesting thing to note there. Hull City, we beat them 3-0. We actually changed to a 4-2-3-1 for this one because they were playing a 4-2-3-1, and we sort of struggled against 4-2-3-1s in the past. I mean, Southampton sort of played it, but It was a little bit different for them. 3-0 win. They got our man sent off very early, and then we thought, oh, yes, we should probably win this game. And in the 86th, the 89th, and 93rd, we scored 3 goals and missed a penalty as well, so not too bad in that one. And we've beaten Charlton, who are going to be sick of us. We've beaten them 2-0 in the Cup, 2-0 in the league, and playing pretty well. 2 for talent, all press in that one. So we have picked up a few points, which leaves us 16th in the Sky Bet Championship. It's okay at the moment. Our advantage is that Hull and Doncaster have both played one more game than us, and we are ahead of them. We're going with, if anyone watches Lelujo, we're going for the Kev ratio here. More points than games. That's all we need to stay up in this division. If we draw every single game from now on, we will stay in the division. So, yeah, that's all we're doing. The aim is purely stay in the division. As you can see, it's going to be that. If 15th is our peak throughout the season, I wouldn't be surprised. As long as we're not in that bottom 4, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy, because there's loads of big games in this division. It's really, really difficult. Right, now, I said focus on Pedro Panta's wage. If we go and have a look at the where's it, stats and then team overview, I think it is. No, not team overview, team detailed. And we go and look at wages, salary per annum. Right, £55 million is what Aston Villa are spending on their salary. We are spending £1.85 million a year on our salary. So Aston Villa have 55 times the amount to spend on wages, which is very, very impressive. If we go to finances, our whole wage budget is 51,000. That's nearly half a Panther. Not, well, more, isn't it? Panthers have more than half our wage budget. So, yeah, that sums up the difficult task that we've got. There are players in this division. I mean, 51,000, right? If we go and look at Aston Villa, we'll look at their wages. Players, I mean, let's have a look. Key player, Abdullawi, 61 grand a week. Yes, right. So Aston Villa have one player that is on more than our entire wage budget. Excellent. This is going to be tough. So that's why just staying up is absolutely key for this season. Right, the other thing I said we'd touch on very quickly is looking at some of the past greats of Guiseley and what they're doing right now. So first up, we'll go with one-time record appearance holder for Guiseley, Harry Jordan, the right back. There he is. He is a free agent at the age of 31, and he moved to Telford after us on a free transfer, had 2 good seasons, and then it looks like they didn't renew his contract. So Harry Jordan still floating around, but without a club. Obviously, Matt O'Keefe is one we have to go and look at, as my doorbell is just gone. How rude of the postman to deliver something while I'm trying to do a video. Yeah, Matt O'Keefe, free agent, hasn't really progressed. 28 years old now, without a club after his big move to Wimbledon, where 85k from us did actually get a bit of first-team football, but only lasted 1 full season, released on a free. Gateshead picked him up. He played well for Gateshead, then moved to Notts County back in League One, and they have just released him as well. So, yeah, that's not ideal for him, is it? Another one that we managed to get a pretty decent transfer fee for was Paul Byrne. He is now at Cheltenham, so at least he's still playing. 32 years old. Wow. At Cheltenham. Paul Byrne then, £100,000 MK Dons paid us to take him. He was there for 3 seasons, then moved to Fylde, had 1 really good season. Tranmere paid 36k for him. A couple of good seasons there. They released him on a free, and Cheltenham are reaping the rewards of a free transfer in the National League. So peaking at League One after his move to MK Dons, really struggled in that first season. Improved in the 3 games there, but then wasn't given much more chance. And Fylde picked him up on a free and then cashed him in for profit, which is pretty decent for them, to be honest. So who else can we potentially look at to see what is what's been going on? If we go into transfers, transfer history, let's go back until we see some out. So if we got here, Liam Brown moved to Preston. He is now at Auckland City, so back at New Zealand. So yes, we obviously got 33k from him, from Preston. Never played for them, didn't obviously progress enough for them. And Auckland are reaping the benefits of picking him up on a free transfer, which is interesting. Who else have we got that we've sold for cash? Jordan Tarr at Millwall. He's still at Millwall. Has he made an appearance? No, he hasn't. So they're obviously still seeing how he's going to develop, but not looking like too good of an investment, that one. We got someone there, 160k. Oh, Tim Rocket, yeah, to Barnsley. He's now moved to Ireland and playing for Finn Harps. They've lost. They never played him. 160k paying his release fee. They never played him, and he's now back in Ireland trying to play well there. Wow, I forgot about Tim Rocket. That's an interesting one. Who else have we got? So looking back. Savas Nikolaou, he's not doing much. He's still playing out in Greece. Oh, Georgios, yeah, moved to Portsmouth. He's now gone back to Cyprus for 11.25k. What a huge loss that was. And he played 3 appearances and didn't actually do too bad for Portsmouth, but ripping it up in Cyprus. So he's probably having a whale of a time back in his home country. We've got Georgios there. We've looked at Liam Brown. We've looked at Tony Hogan, 250k, has retired from football. Wow, okay. Tony Hogan's retired from football. He moved from Guiseley, went on loan to Stevenage, then to Bradford, and retired after being released from Bradford. Okay, and then the other one that I just saw there that I won't use the buttons to flick to was Brooklyn Christie, who is not at the top of this list, so I'm going to suggest he probably isn't playing football anymore. Brooklyn Christie, there he is, moved to Morecambe, 1 appearance, and then retired from football. Wow. Okay, there you go. I mean, yeah, that's probably most of the big players. I feel like, oh, what about old Tarmy? Tarmy was a good little player, wasn't he? Shane Tarmy. He is at Stevenage after we released him on a free last year. 3 appearances, 6.47. Really not playing well for them. They picked him up. 1 appearance last year, 3 this year. So, yeah, not hitting the heights he did with us. They're clearly not using him correctly. Let's just very, very quickly go all the way back to the beginning. It's amazing how far we've come through this save. So Sikora, that was one of the originals. Ivan Berry. Wayne Harper was our first ever player. He is still playing, but I think on a free transfer. He was the first one we ever sold for money. Freeze. Paul Byrne for 100k. Kyle Trineri, the goalkeeper. He'll be retired now, I'm sure. Loans. So many loans going out when we get youth things in. Brooklyn Christie, and I'm pretty sure that means that is everyone that we've sold who meant something to us, right? I don't think some of them in here we've sold and released and things, but they weren't superstar players. But there we go, a quick recap of the past. Right. So, tactically, we now have options, right? We have options. We have this, which is I sometimes use to counter the 4-4-2, although it hasn't actually been as good as I would hope. We have our system that I don't want to get rid of because this is the one that's got us promotions basically using this system, and we may go back to that at some point and just tweak it for this year. And then we've got the underlap system that we've also been playing previously to get promoted from League One into the Championship. Now, there is also something else that I've come up with. So if I quickly load that in, we'll go through that. Right, this is a 4-2-3-1, like we know and love. However, this one is focused much more on certain people playing in certain places. So we'll actually have to get rid of this, because what we've done here is set up, obviously what a terrible one to pick to start with. We've set up some personal instructions, I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, here we go. So telling people how to play the game when they are selected, judging by the players that are here, because we have some very inadequate attributes for certain positions. So we are changing slightly how we play. And this is what we're going to use against Coventry today. And we're going to see how it goes. So the lineup for this then, Scott Lloyd in goal as a goalkeeper on defend, not a sweeper keeper. At the right back position will be Patrick Kaminski. I have tried Kaminski in this no-nonsense centre-back cover role as a centre-back, and I don't know what it is. He should be able to judge all of this, but that heading being 4 really lets him down. He's got a bit of pace, good jumping reach, good decent strength, concentration 14, but he always makes an error. He always lets the ball sort of just fly over his head and has misjudged a header. So yeah, he's going to be starting right back, not at the centre back. Joe P will be starting as our no-nonsense. As you can see, 2 no-nonsense centre backs. We're not messing around anymore. That's fine. Wing back on the left will be Stuart Faulkner whenever he's not diving into tackles and getting sent off. Lewis Salt sits next to Malik Priestnall in holding midfield. That's probably a little bit unexpected. Priestnall set up in here to not do anything too dangerous, and to just basically win the ball back and then kick it upfield towards our more advanced players. On the right-hand side is going to be Shane Stitt on this side. In attacking midfield is Graham Cox. On the left, playing as a winger, is Jimmy Curran. And up front is Taron Allpress. And then on the bench, we go with Classy, Fearon, Thorpe. Alphakoff goes on there to replace Stitt when he's needed. Hanif Bertrand goes on the bench. Max Whittam goes on the bench. And then we'll put a goalkeeper on the bench because we do want to be playing this semi-seriously. No, I don't. I'm going to go and put Kai Harding on the bench because he is very good. He's a very good option in this role. And we're doing all right. The other thing we should probably do is drop our line ever so slightly. But because Coventry are going to be playing... It's like I've done all my research, by the way. Coventry are playing in a 4-4-2. That is what we're expecting them to come out in. They're expecting a fluid counter-attack. So they're going to try and hit us quickly on the break, which in theory means they're going to send a lot of people forward when they win the ball. So what we are going to do is we are going to drop our line to a standard line. We're not going to go and press them high up the pitch, but we do want to press them in the middle of the park. So when they get into this mid block, we're going to press them quite a lot. We're not going to step up. We're not going to try and trap them anywhere. We are not going to counter-press the 4-4-2 to pull us out of systems, and our goalkeeper can distribute it however the hell he wants. We will play at a higher tempo with more direct passing. We're not going to underlap, and we are going to... Do we want to focus the wings? I think we do. We're going to focus the wings and hit the early crosses, and we're going to whip those crosses in because Taron Allpress has pretty good off-the-ball movement with 14, good finishing and good composure. So get the ball in early to him. Hopefully attempts an overhead kick and hopefully he scores. But yeah, who knows? So that is how we're going to be starting. We could start cautious because Coventry are better than us. Coventry are up in 6th, so this could be a cautious one. But I think we're at home. Let's start on positives, try and start on the front foot and see how we go. It's basically... The tactic now is get the ball forward up to the strikers, see how they get on. So yes, Guiseley 16th at home to Coventry in 5th. They've dropped down a place. I thought they were in 6th. They've actually were in 4th. They dropped down to 5th at the moment. But yeah, 16th isn't too bad. A -3 goal difference. We went for the 5 at the back to make us defensively solid, but what that did is made us really struggle actually in front of goal. We weren't scoring enough goals. So this is our new system. Everyone's fit and healthy and ready to go. Let's go and give it a go. Let's go and give it a go. We're such the big underdogs in this division. It's unreal how much of an underdog we are. So they are lining up in the 4-4-2. That is exactly the team that our assistant predicted. If we carry our last match into this one, look, well, I mean, we will do well, but I sort of feel like let's go and cause an upset because Coventry are 4th or 5th or wherever they were. So we need to get out there and make things happen. We are going to be in 3D for you lovely, lovely people. And let's go into the opposition instructions. Right. 4-4-2. Don't let their midfielders get on the ball. But when I say don't let them get on the ball, I don't want us to... I think let's go and press them as soon as they get the ball. Rather than mark them, let's go and press them and tackle them really hard, obviously. And then we do want to... I think, don't we? No, that's not the one I wanted. No, that's the one I wanted. I think we keep them wide. I think we keep them right and left so that they're not funneling the ball into these two, which is a change from what I normally do. But that's what we're going to go with. They have a Faulkner at left back. We have a Faulkner at left back. It's the Faulkner off. It's the Faulkner derby. As here is Hadlow on the ball. What are we playing on? Key highlights, that is what we want, because I think the video is already going to be long enough. Stitt defending very well. Kaminsky goes long. We can't get on the end of it. Cox goes long. Jones with a good header. So this is what we want to force them to do. We want to force them to go long with the ball because our defenders are generally very good with jumping, reach and heading, as Hadlow is there. It's a penalty, isn't it? Straight away. Why it can't... Our players are so bad at tackling. Like, so bad at tackling. Honestly, the amount of penalties we give away. Harris. Hey, Scott Lloyd, what a save. Come on. Come on, Scotty boy in goal. What a save. As Hadlow swings at Allpress. Left-footed volley away out for a throw. You love to see that. Right, great save from Scott Lloyd there. Lovely stuff. Right, momentum. We're getting a little bit of it, but we know that can switch. Long ball forward. Joe P. header. Jones, great header down. Cox picks it up. Looks long to Allpress. Stitt. Oh, he's trying to put it into that space and couldn't quite make it work. Look at this tick-attacker from Coventry. Stitt. Oh, no, he's lost the ball. That was Salt, sorry. Faulkner wins it and brings it away. Faulkner got the ball down the line to Curran, uses him. Curran over the top looking for Cox, didn't quite work. That is our more direct passing. It is giving the ball back to them a little bit. Right, Hadlow. He's only got one man in the box. So if we mark him up, we're okay. They've got a few more men forward now. Faulkner puts it in. Harris with a header is hit the top of the netting. I'm sort of wondering, do we also hit into space? I think we are going to hit. We're going to ask our forward players to do basically a lot of the donkey work here. Right, encourage the team. It's 25 minutes gone. 0-0. And they've missed a penalty, which is good, right? I think. So I don't really know what else we can change. They are playing a really high line for an away team. They're trying to squeeze us in our half. So I'm sort of thinking do we match that up and potentially give them a ball over the top, but potentially we win the ball higher up? Make sure you get the win you deserve. Probably not. Let's show me something better. Yeah, there you go. That's fired them up and got them motivated a little bit. Do we push? So we're still squeezing this space. I don't mind their defenders having the ball. It's when it goes into midfield, that's what we need to close. We need to close that space out in midfield. I definitely don't want to counter press at the moment. I know we're giving the ball away back to them, but I feel like this is a good... Because a 4-4-2 should, when they push up, go to a 4-2-4, which means we should get a bit of space, technically. We should technically get a bit of space. Performances-wise, Stitt not having a wonderful game. I mean, we could bring on Alphakoff and open up the space a little bit more. I think we give... why is Kaminsky nervous? I don't like him being nervous. That's our change at half-time. Harding, you're on. Kai Harding, get on the pitch. See if you can make a difference. Momentum-wise, it is mostly in Coventry's favour. Hadlow free kick in. McGee off the post and Stitt puts it behind for a corner. It's a lot of pressure, this, from Coventry. I feel like we're going to have to drop our... I think we have to drop our thing down to cautious. I feel like we're maybe pushing up a bit much, which is allowing them to counter on us in that 4-4-2. But an hour gone. Right, an hour gone. This is where we quickly make some changes. So all press off. Thorpe on. He's got more pace, so he can be an advance forward to get on those balls in behind. Stitt off for Alphakoff. Alphakoff comes on, and I think you're an inside forward on attack, if I remember looking at your attributes, because you don't have the work rate to be on support. Yeah, so I think we change you when you come on. This is where I should really set it up using that ability to do, like, when this person comes on here, this is what it changes to. And for now, that's what we go with. Next sub potentially is going to be Faulkner off for Whittam on the left, and then it becomes a fullback on support. So, yeah, see, I've been really, really thinking about this for the Championship, because we do need to use everything we've got at our disposal to try and do the best we can this season. So Guernes into front of Cockbill up to Wade. That's not quite a good tackle. Ball through. Hadlow's in and he scores. God damn it. I see, an excellent counter-attack is what it described that as. And it's not really a counter-attack, is it? It's just that Faulkner didn't quite get the tackle right. And then he's got the pace off the back of Joe. And Hadlow sticks it in. 20 minutes to go. Now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult, because now we do need to sort of chase the game. So I think high press. We've got to try and win the ball back. I still think we need to hit those early crosses. I think we do need to do that. Right, let's see what we can do. We can try and play for set pieces as well. We do have a lot of tall players that can win the ball. As Hadlow over the free kick. He's going to just take his time. 10 minutes to go. It's gone past the post, so not completely on target. But it kept us very defensively solid for a little while. And yeah, this is... Oh, that is a very poor pass from Scott Lloyd out from the back, the goalkeeper. Saylor comes forward, back to Evans. Good tackle from Kai Harding. Up to Thorpe, can't win it. But he looked so far offside. Yeah, he's offside. So this is what's... it's a really interesting sort of dilemma that we've got here. Because... The problem is that we've come from the Championship, where we were very easily winning games, and now we're in a much more difficult league. So Classy comes on, he then becomes an inside forward on attack as well, and yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to the fact that we're not. Oh my word! I thought it was in. Cox with a wonderful free kick from range. Oh, so unlucky for Cox. He is very good at free kicks, so maybe we should play for set pieces a bit more. Harding, Barker's there into McGee. He goes long. Boateng flicks it on. Hadlow from range over the bar. Yeah, so it's just getting used to the fact that picking up points, any points we pick up is pretty much a bonus. But it's a 1-0 loss. I know we didn't create very much, but yeah, it's something I need to work on, right? It's something I need to work on. Like, you did yourselves proud. We'll try and keep the morale up. I think a 1-0 loss to 4th place Coventry probably isn't too bad. But there is such a disparity between our level and pretty much everybody else in this league that it is going to be very, very tough. I don't know how long I leave it until we go back to the 4-2-3-1, this one that's basically got us up the divisions. I feel like this leaves us far too open at the back. So I'll keep tinkering around. We'll keep having a look. We've got Wigan up next. There will be back for a few more games in this one. But I think after this, we will go back into the sort of December time, maybe the youth intake preview and see what's happening. But yeah, any advice, anything like that? I mean, we are picking up little points here and there, which is really good. I mean, that run in September was horrendous, which is why I sort of felt like we needed to move away from the 5-2-2-1 because it was just so, I don't know, it didn't appear to be working, especially against the 4-4-2, as you can see here. We did pick up a draw against the 4-4-2 against Blackburn, but yeah, 4-4-2s I seem to really struggle with playing against on an FM23 this year. I don't know if it's a case of maybe just matching it up and having our own 4-4-2, but yeah, we'll see. Or do we just stick to our philosophy and play how we like to play and see if the results come? I don't know. But there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you want to be a patron or a club member to get your name in the game, links are all down below. Second channel also has F1 Manager on it, so go and check that out as well. That is all in the links in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.